Many preconceptions and constructs are brought into qualitative study, as you rightly said, and they determine in turn the field immersion activities. So funders, of course, can skew the outcomes due to their predetermined mandates. In fact, they often seek anticipated outcomes from projects, which is further exacerbated by two things, that is paucity of time and financial resources. So there was this recent project that I worked in, and it was funded by a well-known international donor agency, and that had previously undertaken research in previous phases of it was in Asia and in Africa. And these were regions in Asia and Africa with comparable sort of socioeconomic indices that were comparable to India. So consequently, the donor had already identified opportunity areas to isolate and invest in before embarking upon a study in India. Now, in my interactions with foreign donor officials and the partnering academic institutes for this project, I noticed certain discrepancies. See, the study was termed as an exploratory research enterprise for the Indian team that included myself and my other co-researchers. But it was primarily a corroboration exercise for donors and the International Research Agency. So it was not an exploratory research, but an exercise in but an exercise in corroboration. And there were previous requirements from the donors in terms of specific observations and findings that they wanted to be included in the study report from India. So it became clear when I met a donor representative and some other researchers after a month of field immersion. And this particular donor official told me in the course of our discussion, he said, now I'm quoting, quote unquote, he said, we have done parts of Africa and Asia, and we got communitarian tension. Now bring us religious, economic, and caste tension. You can get these quotes from participants. You will get that in the northern locations of India. Just bundle that up with some sort of identity sort of a thing. And, that's what they said. Now, the thing is, while scholars influence data, I am not denying the fact that scholars with their biases, researchers with their biases do influence data, but donors determine its direction. So in fact, there was an increasing pressure from donors every other day that field observations should be reported to them on an everyday. Fair enough, which is good enough. But then that quickly changed to delivering insights on a weekly basis. So raw findings were quickly modified into research insights and takeaways, and was handed over to them. So unverified claims from preliminary interviews were put forth as insights. And these naturally included so-called instances of caste conflicts, of religious tensions, everything else that researchers obtained through what I would call as dubious means of interactions with respondents. So participants' individual outcomes in this process were positioned as explanations for larger social outcomes. And as you can see, as I began by answering your question, it was primarily directed by the funders.
Please remember to subscribe to us and switch on the notifications for this channel. For our other social media links, more content, and to support our work, please visit citti.net. Dhanyavad. Namaskar.